Hello and welcome to the VCR podcast with me, Mike Trower. I'm here to help you on your video journey, giving you information, tips and advice on and coaching to help push your video content to help grow your business. And today, as well as slipping up on my words, I'm talking to you about how my children created a plan to make sure they got enough playtime to play in the ice today. So, welcome to the podcast, everybody. It's good to have you back. And you know, I'm grateful for the commitment that you give to make sure that you know, you download this podcast and you listen to it and you watch it. If you're watching it on YouTube, then I applaud you. Thank you very much. Not only are you hearing my face, but you're also watching me too. Hearing my face? I don't know what's going on with me today. So yeah, I want to speak to you about the plan that my children made when they woke up and decided that it was a good idea to draw pictures in the ice. Now, we don't often get snow here in South Devon. And some people say that it's from all the salty air from the sea. But there was snow here once, about 5 years ago, and nobody's ever forgotten it. So it can't be the salty air from the sea because the salty air from the sea was there then. So if you do know why the snow doesn't settle in South Devon, then please let me know. I will be very grateful. Pop that in the comments if you don't mind. So what I want to share with you is how my children created a plan to get dressed, eat breakfast, and then get ready early so that they could go outside and make drawings in the ice. So literally, it's quite mad. They were at the table and I was like, oh, look, it's been snowing. It hadn't been snowing. It was just ice. So the rooftops and everything looked white. It was, you know, it was just ice. But they were like, right, we want to go and draw in the ice. And I was like, well, you can't because it's not snow. It hasn't settled. But they then looked at the car and saw that the car bonnet was covered in ice. And they thought, well, if we melt our fingers, not melt your fingers, but if you use your fingers to melt the ice, then you can draw in the ice. So that's what they decided they were going to do. They decided that their plan was to have their breakfast, to open up their calendar for Christmas, because it was I'm recording this just before Christmas. They then decided that they were going to have their breakfast really quickly. They're going to have some easy to eat breakfast that was quick. It was just bread with chocolate spread on. I know. Instead of cereal or scrambled eggs or whatever. Cody normally asks for bacon with scrambled eggs, and it's always, no, wait till the weekend. But today they had chocolate spread on bread, and they had that. They got dressed really quickly without needing any help, which was, you know, the first time ever. And then they went downstairs, put their shoes on, put their coats on. They got their book bags for school ready. They got their juice ready. But put it at the bottom of the stairs, so they were ready to go. We've got stairs that go down from our flat, so all the stuff was at the bottom of the stairs, ready to go. And they made this plan to go out and do what they wanted to do outside and play. And it made me think that if you really put your mind to it, even as children, you can make a plan or a strategy to do anything that you want to do, and you ultimately do make a plan or a strategy to do anything that you want to do. So, like, in food, it's called a recipe, you know. In when you build a house, it's a drawing plan. It's all a strategy of what's going to happen, right? So when we look at the bigger picture of a whole strategy for a year, it can be massively overwhelming, and we might need help, which is why I provide a content strategy day where I come to you and I help you with your content strategy. I help you plan all the video titles that you're going to be doing all throughout the year, what month you're going to be doing what. And this is a little bit different than a business strategy because you've already thought about your business strategy. You already know what you want to sell, what you're good at selling, what you sold last year, what you're not going to sell this year. And, you know, part of my plan is to help you create a content strategy. The children's plan today was a very simple, basic strategy. They worked it out between themselves subconsciously. And if we could make a strategy that for the whole year that quickly and easily, then we would all do it, right? You know, we would all be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to have some breakfast. I'm just going to have some bread instead of cereal because it's easier and quicker to consume. But we don't think about other things like that. Like are we spending our time in the right place? Are we doing what we could be doing for the best use of our time? Are we doing are we doing what we should be doing? Are we in the right places at the right time? So we got to think about like where we can cut time, where we can cut costs, where can we spend our time more wisely? Can we bulk film stuff? Can we pre-record stuff like this? It's been recorded on what's the date today? The 16th, Friday, the 16th of December, and it's going out in January. What can we do now to make sure we are ready for then? Where can we cut time and money to make sure that we can reinvest our time or reinvest our money into something else, something more productive? So, if you want help with your content strategy, then do let me know. The link is in the show notes or the description of this video or podcast. So please take advantage. Take a leaf out of my children's book. Plan your strategy even if it's just for today. Plan your strategy for today. If you can time block, then maybe even time block. But like when we're talking about content, you need to think: are we creating the right content for our show, for our channel, for our social media, for our business? Are we creating the right content when we're in like real life? Are we portraying ourselves as we want to be portrayed? Are we doing things right? So there's some takeaways there that I want you to just have. What can I do with my time to make sure that I'm more useful to myself? What can I do? Can I cut any costs to make sure that my spending is more direct? Can I do anything else to help my business at the moment? So there we go. Make a little simple plan. Plan your strategy for today. If you can do that, try and plan it for the week. I will be here helping you for January. January for me is strategy month. So I'm going to be doing what I can to help you through January for free. If you want to book me, then you can. So thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you've enjoyed it, then head over to YouTube and you can watch this podcast as well. I would be very grateful if you could subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.